Hi everyone, welcome back to Wilde Reads. My name is Dave. Today it's another book haul. This is the November book haul, part 2. Roll the titles. Hi everyone, welcome back. As I said in the introduction, this is part 2 of my November book haul. I realised that the last book haul rambled on a little bit, so let's try and make this one a bit more succinct. How's everyone doing, by the way? Are we good? Good. Then we'll begin. I'm going to start off this book haul with new books, brand new books. Recently we went to Sevenoaks, a town near where we live, and they've got a brilliant little independent bookshop there called the Sevenoaks Bookshop. And in there I found this little gem. This is Scribbles in the Margins, 50 Eternal Delights of Books by Daniel Gray. It's up for the Books in My Bag Readers Award shortlist. This is published by Bloomsbury, and this is one of my favourite things. This is a book about books. I love books about books, and I've got another one coming up in a moment. So this is in a boisterous, fraught world of rolling news, angst-ridden social media and hectic living. Scribbles in the Margins offers a comforting antidote, reminding us that books and bookshops can still soothe the soul. So it's a collection really of 50 very short essays about books, bookshops and the thing that we all love to do, reading. This is why we're here. This is why BookTube exists, because there's people like me talking to people like you about what we all love to do, and that's cozy up in a chair or snuggle up in bed and just read. There's nothing better, I'm yet to find in my 45 years, a better hobby than reading. So books about books, love them. The next one is a book that I've got. This is from Canongate, and this is Himself by Jess Kidd. And this is about when Mahoney returns to Mouldering, a speck of a place on Ireland's west coast. He brings only a photograph of his long-lost mother and a determination to do battle with the lies of the past. No one living or dead will tell Mahoney what has happened to the teenage mother who abandoned him as a baby, despite his certainty that more than one of the villagers knows the sinister truth. Now that seems really good. Now I spoke to another very well-known booktuber about this book, and he wasn't so keen on this. He said he gave this one away. So I'm going to try and discover it for myself. It's got some good blurb. I haven't seen this on BookTube, so I may have missed it. It may be on there, and I may have missed it. But I'm looking forward to checking that one out and seeing what that one's all about. The second is another book about books, and this is from one of my favourite authors, Susan Hill. You may remember some years ago, Susan released a book called Howard's End is on the Landing, about a year in her reading life. This is the follow-up. This is called Jacob's Room is Full of Books, a Year of Reading. And this just says, when we spend so much of our time immersed in books, who's to say where reading ends and living begins? The two are impossibly and gloriously wedded. As Susan Hill shows in Jacob's Room is Full of Books. Considering everything from Edith Wharton's novels to Alan Bennett's diaries, the Beano, Virginia Woolf and the writings of 12th century monk, Susan Hill charts a year of her life through the books she has read, reread or returned to the shelf. From beneath a shady tree in a hot French summer or the warmth of a kitchen during an English winter, Hill reflects on what her reading throws up, from writing and writers to politics and religion. Fabulous. I can't wait to get into that. I absolutely loved Howard's End is on the Landing, and I was very pleased to meet Susan Hill in Hatchard some years ago, where she signed my copy of Howard's End is on the Landing. This one isn't signed, but I'm looking forward to reading it equally as much as the first one. So the next book I've got brand new is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Am I pronouncing that right? Celeste Ning. Ning? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Celeste Ning? Apologies if I've got that wrong, but I think it's Celeste Ning. This is new. This is in Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland. Everything is meticulously planned, from the layout of the winding roads to the colours of the houses to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead. as no one embodies this spirit more than Eleanor Richardson, whose guiding principle is playing by the rules. So very much looking forward to reading that as well. That has become one of my favourite sayings, isn't it? Very much looking forward to reading that. This has got a gorgeous cover. It's sort of waxy, a waxy hardback with this sort of spot varnishing on the titles. Beautiful. Can't wait to read that. The next little new one isn't really a book. It's a diary. This is I picked up this. This is, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? This is the Man Booker Prize Diary for 2018. And it's a lovely little book. It's very pretty. And inside it's got, so we've got some, we see that, we've got some blurb about the Booker Prize and some more blurb and some graphics, and then as we go through the year it lists all the year's winners and the shortlist. Yeah, it's fabulous. You may look, 1972, you may remember from my Booker video, the start of the Booker series, we covered 1972. So there's the winner from John Berger, G. And it just goes on all the way up to last year's winner, which was The Sellout by Paul Beattie. So I'm going to use this as my booktube diary for next year. So that's the Man Booker Prize Diary for 2018. See, I could have, if I did a favourites video like some other booktubers, I could have included that in it. But I don't do favourites videos because I don't have enough favourites. I may do one in the new year. We'll see. We'll see. The next new one I've got, or the last brand new book that I've got, is A Skin Full of Shadows, and this is a signed copy. So this is by Frances Hardinge, and oh, it comes with a nice little bookmark as well. And you see Frances signs her books in gold pen, and she signs them on the end papers, which is fabulous. Let's look at this artwork. This artwork is absolutely, my bookmarks just fell out then. This cover is absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. So I've got to say, production values on books nowadays are at their best that they've ever been. So anyway, sometimes when a person dies, their spirit goes looking for somewhere to hide. Some people will have space within them, perfect for hiding. 12-year-old Makepeace has learned to defend herself from the ghosts that try to possess her in the night, desperate for refuge. But one day, a dreadful event causes her to drop her guard, and now there is a spirit inside her. That sounds so good. Can't wait to get to that book. So that was the new books. I do have a selection of used books that I've purchased recently, and the first of those is a non-fiction. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get the chance to fit this one into non-fiction November. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time yet, but this is The Establishment and How They Get Away With It. This is by Owen Jones, who wrote a brilliant non-fiction book a couple of years ago called Chavs, and Russell Brand describes this guy as our generation's George Orwell. And I've just noticed there's an inscription in this book, which is, it's lovely sometimes when you find second-hand books and you read the inscriptions, and sometimes there's letters as well that people have written in them. The inscription says, "To Peter, my good friend and comrade of 52 years, Dick, November 2014. This is generally, well, this is The Establishment and How They Get Away With It. So looking forward to getting to that one at some point. The next used book I've got is by Robert Galbraith. Now, for those of you that are unaware, Robert Galbraith is actually J.K. Rowling, and this is the name she uses for her, this is her sort of alias, whatever, that she uses for the books in this series, which I haven't, this is now a trilogy, I believe, and this is the first one I've got of this series, so I am looking forward to starting these, but I might wait, and even though this is the first one, I might wait till I get the other two so I can read them back to back, although they are quite big to read back to back, so we'll see. Anyway, so that's The Cuckoo's Calling, Robert Galbraith, published by Sphere. The next book I've got is this one, which is a good old-fashioned thriller. This is The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena. This is published by Bantam. This says, "You never know what's happening on the other side of the wall. Your neighbour told you she didn't want your 6-year-old daughter at the dinner party. Nothing personal, she just couldn't stand her crying. Your husband said it would be fine. After all, you only live next door. You'd have the baby monitor, and you'll take it in turns to get back every half an hour. Your daughter was sleeping when you checked on her last, but now as you race up the stairs in your deathly quiet house, your worst fears are realised. She's gone. You've never had to call the police before, but now they're in your home. Who knows what they'll find there? What would you be capable of when pushed past your limit? That sounds intriguing. That might be a December read. I'm not sure yet. I haven't I haven't put together a December fiction reading list yet. The next book I've got is a book called Being Mortal by Atul Gawande. This is Illness, Medicine and What Matters in the End. So this is a non-fiction book. This is published by the Wellcome Collection, who published some absolutely fantastic books, the Wellcome Collection. We went to the Wellcome Foundation recently on our Booktuber meetup, and they do, under their own imprint, they do publish some brilliant books. Very, very interesting exhibitions they have down there. So if you're ever in London and you're stuck for something to do, check out the Wellcome Foundation. It is brilliant. Being Mortal is not only wise and deeply moving, it is an essential and insightful book for our times. Never before has ageing been such an important topic, especially not for me. For even as medical advances push the boundaries of survival further each year, we have become profoundly detached from the reality of being mortal. That sounds fantastic. Can't wait to get to that one. And the last, I've got another thriller here. Look, this is Last Seen Alive from Claire Douglas. This is a proof copy from Penguin. I found this proof copy and then read the back, and it says uncorrected proof edition, not for resale or quotation. Never mind. And this is Last Seen Alive. Libby Hall has never really wanted to be noticed, but after she saved the children in her care from a fire, she finds herself headline news and horrified by all the attention. It all reminds her of what happened 9 years ago, the last time she saw her best friend alive. That sounds good. Another little pacey thriller to get my teeth into when we're back on the fiction. This is another non-fiction book, and this is called No, I Don't Need Reading Glasses, the continuing story of Marie Sharp from the bestseller No, I Don't Want to Join a Book Club. This is supposed to be very, very funny. So Marie may be getting on a bit, but it's certainly not getting her down. Now she's stopped teaching art, she's taken up painting again, and there are far many more hours each day to enjoy life. She has her friends, she has Pouncer, her cat, as well as a darling grandson, and she has Archie to share her bed. All this plus the daily rent screaming headlines to wake her up in the morning. Life is good, but nothing stays the same for long. So that seems very funny. So this is Louise O'Neill, and this is called Asking For It. What did she expect? It's the beginning of summer, and Emma O'Donovan is 18 years old, beautiful, happy and confident. One night there's a party. Everyone is there. All eyes are on Emma. The next day she wakes on the front porch of her house. She doesn't know how she got there. She doesn't know why she's in pain. But everyone else does. Photographs taken at the party show in great detail exactly what happened to Emma that night. But sometimes people don't want to believe what's right in front of them, especially if the truth concerns the town's heroes. So this is a brave, bold and important novel about sexual consent and betrayal, victim blaming and the truth in the age of the smartphone. So very, very topical novel this. And that was it really. It seems like yet again, for the second month running, I've hauled an awful lot of books. I'm going to have to either do one of two things. Either start reading more or buy some more bookshelves. I think I'll do both. And the dog has just walked in and... Hello, Lottie. Say goodbye, Lottie. What can you say? What are you looking at? So anyway, until the next time, I'll see you again. Whatever you're doing this week, enjoy your books. Take care. And I'll see you soon for another BookTube video. Bye-bye.